We are focusing on the fire element in this third video of our 4-part Healing with the Elements of Nature series. All of the elements of nature are important in our outer world to keep nature in balance. And as you know, discovering the use of fire, figuring out how to harness it, gave our human species a huge evolutionary boost. But remember that we are microcosms of nature. We have fire inside of us as well that is responsible for our growth on every level of our being. Body, heart, mind, and spirit can be up-leveled as we connect in with this element. So stick around if you want to hear more about the significance of the element of fire, how it can help you live more passionately. And I'm also going to share my 3 favorite fire rituals that you can engage with for inner healing. Welcome back to my channel, friends. If this is your first time here, I'm Brandy with Falcon Healing Arts, where I help women and their families experience healing breakthroughs and to go on to lead empowered, joyful lives. And I do this through sharing wisdom and practices from traditional Chinese medicine, energy and shamanic healing, and also human design. I'm excited to finally talk to you about the fire element here because it's probably my favorite element to work with in healing rituals. And that is because it is strong, it is fast, and it is effective. And people like me who are very driven really appreciate those qualities in fire. And because fire has both life-giving, creative qualities to it, as well as more destructive qualities, it's really important to always be balanced with this element. So it's something that I'm pretty mindful of myself, and I talk to my clients about this as well. And for the purpose of this video, I do feel that it's helpful to continue to talk about it in these dual aspects of it being creative and destructive. It's more easy to understand the importance of balance. So first, fire and creation. Fire is related to the yang energy of the sun. So this is more masculine energy. This is more active and driven. And we know that we need the sun to activate our life force. We need it to grow and thrive. And not just us humans, but all living beings, including plant life. It's easy to see that plants do not thrive when they have inadequate levels of sun. And sometimes we forget that we are very similar and also need just the right amount. We do see this in our physiology. The sun activates vitamin D in our skin, which is responsible for healthy immunity. It helps to regulate our appetite and sleep, helps support muscle and bone growth, and keeps our mood and our spirits lifted. So it's obvious when we're not getting enough sun, we're not getting enough vitamin D, our health suffers. Our growth is stunted. So we are fully dependent on the life-giving energy of the sun, which is the symbolic fire in nature. Internally, fire creates and stirs up deep desires. It's the passion behind what we're trying to bring out into the world. And it's what makes us embrace life fully. Inner fire generates heat, and it kindles our need to follow our life path. Now, fire is also destructive energy, but we can think of it more as transformative energy, that it helps one aspect end so another can begin. It's transformation that brings about regeneration and rebirth. So think of a forest fire that can completely clear out an area of flora. That fire is needed to germinate some seeds, especially with evergreens like the pine tree that's right outside my house here. Fire is a very effective way to break open those cones and to germinate the seeds and even to spread them further on the wind. wind. And when that space is cleared of extra trees, then as that matter goes into the earth, it creates more nutritious soil that then supports new life coming back up in the space that was made. So in that sense, fire is needed in nature. It's part of this endless cycle of death and rebirth. But there are other fires that are not as helpful. Like, we really don't need the house to catch on fire for any reason. So that's one example of how it can also just be destructive. So it definitely depends on the context and circumstances. And now let's relate this internally on all levels of our health. Inner fire is needed on a physical and energetic level. This is what we call digestive fire in Chinese medicine and in Ayurveda, that is related to right here, the solar plexus, the third chakra that we call Manipura. And it's right where the digestive organs reside. There needs to be energy there. There needs to be fire there to break down food. So you are destroying the food through digestion, but you're then able to break it apart and assimilate the essential nutrients that are then available to us as energy, as raw energy. And actually, cooking food first makes it very easy for us to digest and assimilate those nutrients. So that's why cooking is emphasized in Ayurveda and Chinese medicine too. Inner fire can also purify our hearts, our minds, and our spiritual essence. We can burn away negativity, unhelpful habits, and limiting beliefs that are stunting our inner growth, our spiritual growth. This symbolic death of the old self or ego identification is what's needed to propel ourselves forward on our spiritual journey. But again, these destructive qualities need to be in balance. We need to control it so it doesn't become too excessive and obsessive, or to balance it with the qualities of the water element, which does check it. And we'll be talking about water in our final video next. Now, when is it helpful to engage with the fire element? When do you know it's needed? You'll want to build up the fire element within you whenever you feel it's deficient or when you want to use it to achieve a certain end. If you are having any issues with motivation, doing the fire rituals I am about to tell you in a moment will be really helpful. Remember last week in our video on air, I was saying that we need both air and fire to light that spark inside of us, to rekindle this fire and to help us act. You'll want to work with fire if you need more passion and engagement in your life. So if you're feeling apathetic, disconnected, disinterested, working with the fire element can boost your mood and again, your motivation. Fire is a wonderful tool whenever you feel like you are caught in negativity. Use the rituals and your intention to burn away all those unhelpful habits. Working with fire will keep you interested on your spiritual journey even when challenges arise. It will help you stay connected and on your life path. Working with fire can enliven passion sexually too. So if you are trying to bring more life into your relationships, working with fire is really helpful. And on a practical, physical level, when you are sick, building up vitamin D in the body with the very scientific ritual of sunbathing is, of course, going to be very helpful. Because fire is related to the astrological sun signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you may want to be working with the fire element whenever the new moon or the full moon are in those astrological signs. It means that the energy of the moon during those times has this feeling of fire within it. So we may feel this fiery energy in the collective. in our relationships, in our experiences. So intentionally working with these rituals is extremely helpful, especially if there's something we want to transform. Same with tarot. If you are interested in that, the suit of wands is related to fire. So whenever that comes up in a reading, that is the energy you are working with, and you can do these rituals to process it. So these are my 3 favorite rituals, of many actually that I do, but I feel like these are the most effective. You are going to see quick results in your life by doing them. The first is Tritaka meditation, also known as candle gazing. It's a yoga kriya, which is a cleansing method of purifying the body, heart, mind, and spirit. The intention is typically to connect in with your essence, your spiritual fire inside, but there are other beneficial impacts as well, such as improving your vision, so strengthening your eyes, calming your mind, even resolving headaches that may be related to your vision. This practice can even improve your sleep. And it also helps with clairvoyance if you are interested in developing your psychic abilities. I have a really good video that shows you exactly how to do this practice. So I'll have that queued up for you on the end screen that you can watch next. My second favorite practice to connect in with the fire element as ritual is to do sun salutations. This is more than a yoga movement practice. Traditionally, it is done facing the east, facing the rising sun in the morning. And it's done as a prayer, as a prostration to the sun. Intention is key to develop your inner fire in this practice. So it's a gesture that you can be putting your life force into a certain intention through each movement. Or it can also just be symbolism around your appreciation and gratitude to the sun for providing you with an extra day of life. Bring in the fire properties that you're trying to build up within yourself with each movement, with each breath that is coordinated with the movements. Feel yourself becoming more alive and powerful inside. There are many variations of sun salutations. You can do a simple Google search to see the many types of series. I also teach many variations of sun salutations in my yoga programs, which you could find on my website. Sun salutations do vary in how challenging they are, but just about everyone can do what I call a half sun salutation that I could teach you quickly here. You'll stand with your feet firmly rooted into the floor, together or hip width apart, and on an in-breath, you're going to circle your arms up, saluting the sun. And as you exhale, you'll bow down before it and toward your feet. With your in-breath, rise up with your hands on your shins, reaching your heart forward, open to the sun. And as you exhale, you'll bow back down. And then coming up with a flat back, you can inhale up again, reaching to the sun, reaching to the sky, and draw that energy down into the heart. And my third favorite ritual or practice to engage with the fire element is to do a meditation focused on the third chakra, Manipura, at the solar plexus. So as you come into a meditative state, sitting on the floor or in a chair, allow yourself to release any held tension and become more embodied, more present with each conscious breath. And you can work with the third chakra by imagining that there is a ball of golden light there, and as it's becoming brighter, as it's becoming stronger, it is burning away any negative qualities you're trying to release, and it is building up and making stronger any qualities of fire that you are trying to build up. And you can do this with your breathing. You can be releasing and burning with your exhalation, and you can be building up, rekindling that fire with your in-breath. So definitely make sure that you state an intention first, that you know what you are doing as you are activating this chakra, this energy center with your meditation to make it powerful and effective. And you can use affirmations as well in this practice. So I'm curious to know, friend, do you feel like you need to engage the fire element more in your life, or is it already strongly present? If you do need more of it, which of these 3 rituals are you feeling most attracted to? Which do you want to bring into your practice? And based on everything I've shared with you, you may have an idea of something different that you'd like to do to engage this element. I would love to hear all about your ideas in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, friends. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Next up, I will be sharing about the glorious water element in our last video of this Elements of Nature series. I will see you then. Have a blessed day.